Need your help!
Yeah, but I'm a baseball player now.
Right.
Man, when Bugs Bunny stops the movie to tell you suck, that's bad. Hey everybody, Double Toasted Live is coming to New York on September 10th. Hey, that's my big birthday weekend, so help me celebrate with you. You can get your tickets right now over at doubletoasted.com or go to x1entertainment.com/double-toasted-Brooklyn. Hey, there's a limited number of all access tickets and VIP tickets. They're going pretty fast, so go over there and get your tickets now. Hey everyone, support our Patreon, which helps us to continue bringing you our live streams, videos, and podcasts while bringing you new content such as exclusive live streams and animated shorts. I'm fully aware of our review for Space Jam 2. I'm also aware that Space Jam 2 was not getting the most glowing reviews. I didn't expect it to. Listen, I lived through the great Space Jam 1. And I know what happened with that. So I'm fully aware of what's happening with Space Jam 2. I know it's not getting the best reviews. Some of y'all saying, yeah, no shit. You saw that pig?
What up?
And I agree. That shit is unforgivable.
It is.
Yeah, bad.
It's damn right unforgettable because it's an abomination of monstrosity. That shit I will never, no matter what I say about Space Jam 2, no matter what kind of enjoyment I got of it, I will never forget this shit that it did to me right here with that rapping pig. I can tell you there's a lot of things in here that are not good, but maybe because I have low expectations, maybe because I was more entertained by things than I thought I would. Maybe that's why I came out and said, okay, I'm not gonna apologize to you bitches. I like it. All right. I have nothing against it. I could take it or leave it, but being that I had to see it, I'm like, I got Space Jam 2 and me got no problem.
Right.
Small problems, but nothing that we can't let go.
There's problems, yeah, but nothing that can't be let go. Okay, considering the audience that it's for, considering the legacy that it comes from, what it's built on, what it's supposed to be.
I'm agreeing.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
This is, you know what? This could have been so much worse.
I'm more puzzled by you grown-ass people out there who are coming out talking about Space Jam 2. Man, that is some straight up bullshit. Oh, but Space Jam 1.
You're John Hancock.
What's going on here?
Oh, that's what I said. What's going on here, yo? That's the one where people come out talking about, oh, but Space Jam 1, man, that's a classic. That one, man, I grew up with that movie. Michael Jordon and Bugs Bunny raised me, man. When my mama wouldn't have time for me, she put me in front of the TV with Mike and Bugs, and that movie was so good. Unlike this dumb shit that, by the way, I haven't even seen. To which I say, shut the up. I'm not, like you said, I ain't dying on no hill for no goddamn Space Jam 2. Space Jam 2 don't even matter to me. Space Jam 2 is just it's a blip on the frontier cinema, man. Not saying that I hate it, not saying I love it. I'm just saying, man, I get it, you know?
Yeah.
But the only reason there's people are hating on this because you're a grown-ass person now. You're a grown-ass person looking at this.
Yeah.
This is a good time to go in and do a comparison and contrast between Space Jam 1 and Space Jam 2 while also doing a review of both movies, Space Jam 1, because he hasn't shared his review. Space Jam 2.
Yeah.
He hasn't shared his review of that. And for me to go in and review Space Jam 1. We'll do it all in one thing, believe it or not. We can do all this together. Save time, be efficient. And let me just go ahead and say that after having watched both of these movies, the people who are loving Space Jam 1 because y'all were kids, and the people who coming out hating on Space Jam 2 because y'all grown-ass people now, y'all are full of shit. Completely. And again, this ain't nothing where I'm loving on Space Jam 2 enough to defend it that way. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to tell you something. Both films, the reason why I say that, both films are so similar in structure and execution that I can't, it's like, listen, I can't even say one is better than the other, to be honest with you. Now, if you hate both of them like you do,
Yeah, I do. I do hate both of them.
then that's where I get it. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, at least you're consistent.
That's true. Because rewatching the first one, it was like I was seeing it for the first time. It's been 20 years since
Yes.
I've seen it.
25
And I was
years.
like, this is so much like the new one that it really is in every bit a sequel. It's
Same thing.
everything it should be, being a new one that's 20 years later with new technology.
Yeah, it's like a reboot.
Yeah.
The new one. I like them both. And when I say like, people going to confuse that with, oh, shit, you love space. Like,
It ain't love.
It ain't love.
These
I
movies don't
just-
generate love, but there is a fondness. So I was like, I get it.
both made me laugh at parts. Both made me cringe at parts. In equal measures here and there. So what I think we need to do is, first of all, before we move to your review,
Sure.
and I will kind of do a review of Space Jam 1 while we're doing this, but let's go ahead and get into our comparison and contrast here. Let's look at some areas where I think one movie did better than the other. And I'll even do a thing. You guys can chime in on other things, but I just set up something here where it's like, who won in certain categories.
We'll agree or disagree if whatever you set up.
And you agree with it? Yeah. No, please do agree or
Sure.
disagree. Listen, let's start with number one category. Concept and lasting appeal. As much as I criticize Space Jam 1, it did bring back some fun memories. Not just because I did one of the best shadows in the world, which, looking at that, I really did look at it and be like, damn, I remember doing this, man. I remember when they laid that on the desk and say, hey, look, you can't f this up. Draw a shadow. I remember when they actually laid that on me, and I did, and thinking like, I hope I don't f and being so proud when I saw it on the screen. But other than that, but also, man, because the hype behind Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny coming together, like people like, what is this?
Were they doing commercials already?
I think they might have
Because
done.
I think it started out with commercials, and like I said, I'd worked on a series of trading cards that had them together with some other sports figures. So it was already kind of in the air, the two of them being together. So this was just like that natural extension of, okay, well, we already kind of got a somewhat partnership going. Let's take it to the next level.
Yeah,
There was a lot of that during that time period because you even have Jerry Seinfeld doing a ton of commercials with Superman. Voiced by Patrick Warburton.
Well, he always loved Superman. He always talked about Superman. So it made perfect sense that the two of them would do that.
And that was that was something that you just can't really surpass, man. That hypeness that went with it, that event feeling that went with it, whether you were rooting for it or not. Because if you weren't rooting for it, you were definitely rooting against it. You couldn't wait to see how this would fail.
Sure.
That's
stupid.
Let me just say this. I was in a studio full of animators who were waiting on this to fall on his ass until we got work from it.
Yeah.
And all them fools went to the screening wearing Space Jam leather jackets they paid $300 for.
Damn.
It wasn't even cold outside.
Jesus.
With that in mind, as far as concept and lasting appeal, the winner has to go to Space Jam, the original Space Jam, Space Jam 1. Let's talk about the use, number 2, the use of LeBron James and Michael Jordan. How did these movies use them, and to what effectiveness did they use them? This one is kind of tricky because they both start the movie sort of as a drama. And honestly, I talk about how I like when Space Jam 2 started. I said, man, this is kind of cool. I don't need no Bugs Bunny up here. I kind of like seeing this corny ass LeBron James story. That opened up with him talking to his mother. If you remember, Space Jam 1 opened up with Michael Jordan's father.
And once I've done all that, I want to play baseball just like you did.
Dad is like, where the f going?
Why is he running so slow?
Oh, my boy's on that shit. That boy's on drugs. That's the one he's out here at midnight dribbling the ball. I'm just shooting hoops, Dad. Ain't no hoops up there.
There's no basket there, son.
There's no basket there, son.
That's a bowling ball you have. You broke your foot. You don't even know.
They both show the opening credits with highlight moves and highlight
Montage.
moments, a montage from both of their games.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna say this, and let me put this here because I forgot to pick up something here. Because I would say if we were judging just by editing alone, it would go to Space Jam 1. Because there's a scene in here, and listen, I'm not gonna go too hard on it because if I didn't catch it the first time and nobody's really talking about it when they saw it at the screening, then okay, nobody saw it.
I know what you're talking about.
But but there's a moment in here. We had a Tyler Perry moment in here where if I was judging by editing and continuity alone, Space Jam: A New Legacy would lose horribly because it starts out with LeBron's coach, who has the fastest growing hair tonic I've ever seen a human being have.
What the hell is this?
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap, nothing, man.
Okay, clean up there. Look at that.
You tell on the floor right now. What you doing? ISO for bro.
Hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, now this ain't a game later on. This ain't a game months from now. That's a game in minutes.
Right.
Meanwhile, bald dude's out there talking about, I need to talk to him. Shit, what kind of tonic is he using?
And it goes back and forth every time they cut back to him. Sometimes he's bald and sometimes he has the
sometimes
hair.
he's bald. That fool's a chia pet.
Yeah.
Nobody else shoot the ball.
No hair.
Yeah, back and forth.
Maybe he was amazed by the shot that his hair just went up.
And it goes back inside.
Well, maybe it's meant to be like LeBron's actual hair.
But I have to admit, I think that LeBron was better used in the movie. For one, they showed LeBron how he really lives, because I like in Space Jam 1 where LeBron goes back home to his...
You mean 2?
I'm sorry, 2. Space Jam 2. No, Space Jam 1. I'm sorry, because I'm talking about Jordan.
Okay.
Space Jam 1 with Jordan. Space Jam 1 with Jordan goes back home to his modest Leave It to Beaver house.
That's a pretty big ass house right there.
That's like a few
That's
$1 million.
mansion.
Yeah.
That ain't no mansion right there.
No, it might not be colonial style, but that's a mansion.
Yeah, that
I mean,
is.
look how many rooms, look how many windows are on that, just on the front facing.
As we see inside the house in that movie, they put some money in that thing.
They might put some money. Ain't no mansion on my shit. I got 4 windows upstairs in my place.
That we can see from the street?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's 5 windows.
Okay, I ain't got 5.
There you go.
You
Extra
got an
window.
extra
That's an
window.
extra $250,000 right there.
Well,
That's a huge house.
That
This is where he really lived.
Yeah.
Right here. That is not that house. I did not buy for a moment that, Jordan would be living at home and with his gate all open so the dog can run out and attack.
Charles Barkley.
No, not today.
Charles Barkley trained that dog to attack. Name your dog after me, huh? If the dog can get out through the gate, people can get in. I was like, I'm not buying that. Let me just say that I like how they showed LeBron in his mansion.
Sure.
With voice control ball throwers.
Sure.
Yeah. I found LeBron's story, and I use that very liberally. I found his story to be a little more focused. I found because him being focused on saving his son, whether you think, because it is a stupid story. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
it's a completely dumbass story, but it seems more focused for me than it did in Space Jam 1 for Michael Jordan. It seemed tighter than the stuff that was going on with LeBron James than it did with Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan had all these different storylines going on. Mainly the one where he was failing at baseball.
Good cut, Michael. Good cut.
That was a strikeout, Mike? That was a good-looking strikeout. Real good.
I mean, you look good when you strike out, man.
Man, you fuck up real good, Michael. Michael, you ain't... Michael, you look like shit, but you make shit look good, Michael.
Well, I thought it was very interesting that they played on this, because it was a big deal when Michael Jordan quit basketball to play baseball, and he wasn't very good at it. I mean, he didn't stink up the plays, but he wasn't like the Michael Jordan of baseball,
No.
and he wasn't that good. But the fact that they would touch on the fact, like, his experience was, I'm not playing well, but because I'm famous and everybody loves me, they're just blowing smoke.
Oh yeah, well it's kind of true to real life because everybody thought, well, shit, Michael Jordan is a sports genius.
Yeah.
Oh, every ball he touches, no matter if it's a basketball or baseball, oh man, he gonna kill it at baseball. Y'all look out, man. He sucked. You know, he wasn't like horrible, but he wasn't that great.
Right.
Now I will tell you, he had some funny moments in the movie with them talking about his baseball career. When they joked about it, that's when I thought that was really clever and bold that Michael Jordan even let them do that.
Yeah.
Because Michael Jordan had he's got an ego. He's got an ego.
An ego, yeah. The fact that he went right into it. He played into it. Like, yeah, this is what I'm doing, and it's not working out. But let's have fun.
It was so funny because people are like, you know what, man? Look, if you ain't gonna listen to all of us, we tell you suck. Maybe you listen to the cartoon rabbit. We tell you.
We need your help!
Yeah, but I'm a baseball player now.
Right.
Man, when Bugs Bunny stops the movie to tell you suck, that's bad.
Oh, you still doing that?
Damn. When if you don't listen to human beings, man, this goddamn animated rabbit will tell you. Maybe you listen to him. I tell you what it was with the baseball storyline that I didn't like. I liked that they touched on it with him, and that was a thing. I don't think that they integrated it well with the rest of the movie. I thought it felt like, for a while, two different movies were happening. They put LeBron James interacting with the Looney Tunes pretty soon and early into the movie. And I thought, all right, this makes him a part of the story instead of jumping back and forth between, whatever the Looney Tunes are doing and whatever he's doing. And that makes it more of a one story. I thought it flowed better for me. So that's why I think, in that category right there, out of who was utilized the best for marketing, yeah, Michael Jordan, because it's Michael Jordan. He just sold tickets. But as far as a movie goes, for integrating that person to the story, I think the winner in that category goes to LeBron James. I will say there was some, just a side note right here, there was some bias that was shown during that party against LeBron James as we're talking about LeBron James. They were talking about, man, look at LeBron James and his fake-ass family, as opposed to the fake-ass family that Michael Jordan had
right.
in the first movie.
Yeah. No.
I mean,
They're both bad.
You know what? See, this is where I disagree. I think the kids in the first movie are much worse, but they don't have as much screen time.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, there's for that, I don't think those kids were that bad in Space Jam 2. For the moments, and I'm not even talking about these kids in Space Jam 1 because they're not supposed to have a lot of screen time, but for that little bit that they had, I thought that they were pretty bad.
Well, you see, the Looney Tunes have a big basketball game coming up, and your dad's gonna play. All right.
He just waited. He wasn't looking at nothing. He was waiting for the director, like, and action.
Yeah.
All right.
Say your line. Hey, okay, let's do this again. So when I do this, say your line.
And look at this boy. Here's 3. Plot. I believe that both of those plots are ridiculous. As I was saying, with Space Jam 1, you got an alien that owns an amusement park in the galaxy. He comes down to Earth to kidnap the Looney Tunes because they want to enslave them to,
Be
attraction to be forever comedians at the park because the park is failing. Look, that's ridiculous. That shit is silly. And looking at Space Jam 2, I mean, it's just as silly. An AI that looks like Don Cheadle decides to kidnap LeBron James' family by convincing some executives at Warner Brothers to for them to come to the studio and pitch them this idea that LeBron's, of course, says no to. But then he wants to take over the world when he kidnaps LeBron James' son, and LeBron James has to team up with the Looney Tunes to get his son back in a magical fucking sir. They're both ridiculous. But, I will say that as silly as both of them are, it does make more sense, and I said this in the review, it does make more sense for LeBron to be Tron kidnapped inside of a Warner Brothers server with all the Warner Brother properties in there, because at least they're all stored up in there. That makes logically more sense.
And not only does that make more sense, but we have a stronger goal in that LeBron wants to rescue his son, but it's also about understanding his son. It's all about, hey, accepting that, all right, my son is his own person. He doesn't want to do, and this is kind of my fault because I couldn't listen to that.
I've tried, because people kept saying there's an explanation. I did get it wrong. At first I said they want to build an amusement park in Looney Tunes land, and that's why they went down there. And people were like, no, you wrong. No, they want to go kidnap the Looney Tunes and bring them back to the planet and make them comedian slaves. I was like, oh, that makes much more sense.
Come on, Corey, you should have known that. Come on. That's that detail. You worked on the movie.
And I get it. I mean, listen, just because they have an explanation doesn't mean that it's good, because I can take the server, but with the Looney Tunes, so, man, they had the way they found the Looney Tunes, no thought went into that shit.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me that it's so much better what they did in Space Jam 1, the way they found it? Apparently the Looney Tunes are easily found, because all you got to do is go to the Piggly Wiggly and look for them under the parking lot, and they're underground there. So let's go ahead and look at this if we're going to compare. One, we have an actual server that holds all the properties of Warner Brothers, thus naturally housing the Looney Tunes characters. Or Space Jam 1, where the Looney Tunes live under a parking lot at the Piggly Wiggly. You tell me. I mean, hey, if you want that, then that's fine. I'm not going to argue with you. After, and this other thing, they take the powers. That's another thing that was not thought out. Hey, we want to do a basketball game. How are we going to fight these guys? Oh, well, let's just go ahead and take this tremendous power of being able to snatch, pretty much absorb other people's talents, and then let's take them on.
What's up, baby? All right?
You know they would have drug tested his ass, right? You got purple things coming out your head.
You're leaking purple stuff, sir. How much did you drink?
How much lean did you drink before you got in here? Get your ass out there. Doing African Bombada and shit. It's funny. Don't get me wrong. I actually thought that was funny.
It was funny. And plus the idea that like these guys are so small. How are they going to do this? But also everybody loved those particular basketball players at the time. So it is something fun about watching these guys who are gods on the court not be able to play.
I just thought that was ridiculous. I was like, that's the explanation you got for them to take it. They just absorb their powers. I'm like. So this power that you can use all of a sudden to play basketball, you could have taken that power, you could have conquered Earth by taking strength from people. I'm splitting hairs.
That wasn't their goal.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're just minions working for
they're minions. They were told,
Space
hey, this is the one thing I need you to do. Go do that.
To me, it's just like, what do we got to do? All right, think of something real quick. Let's not get into it, even if it don't make sense. Let's just get it done.
Oh, No, it was all about how do we advance the plot from this point to this thing we know we
What I did like is how the basketball game came about. Because now that was thought out. They were like, so these dudes want to challenge us. They want to kidnap us. What can we do to fight them? They're like, well, shit, they're all short. Challenge them in basketball. And that made me laugh because they got cocky.
Yeah,
they did.
We're going to get these motherfuckers.
Small arms, short legs. I can't jump high.
We're going to beat their ass.
Because you're like, well, none of y'all have ever played basketball before.
But we taller. And we're loony. This actually made more sense to me than in Space Jam 2, because Space Jam 2 has Don Cheadle kidnapping LeBron James and then challenging him to a basketball game. And I'm just like, well, shit, you already got him. If you got the power to pull him over, why don't you just
make him do shit.
Make him do whatever you want to do. Why you got to challenge him to a basketball game? He's there already. You got him enslaved already. You got his kid. I mean, that don't make any sense at all.
Maybe it works better if he complies. Like if he loses the game and has to comply.
They didn't think that out. I ain't second guessing this bullshit right here.
Don Cheadle just says we're going to do a basketball game. That's it.
If you kidnap LeBron James and kidnap him, Don't bring somebody in, you know, kidnap somebody talking about, I'll let you go if you beat me at basketball. You're crazy if you do that, you know? So I think between both of these plots right here, where I can see where both have their strengths and their weaknesses, and they kind of traded out for me. I think that's kind of a draw because they're both silly as hell and they make sense in different ways. Yeah. Yeah, they interchangeable.
How do we get basketball players to play with cartoon characters? Fuck, dude. Whatever you come up with, I'm going to run it.
I'll tell you what, the dumbest way possible.
Fine.
Let's settle on it. That's good.
Better than nothing.
I don't know.
Because I got nothing.
You got 1 minute to tell me. I got to go. Whatever you say, I'm taking it. Well, a computer, all good.
Good, yeah.
Write that shit down. Leave it on my desk.
I can tell you the rest. Don't even worry about it.
Well, you see, the Looney Tunes live under Piggly Wiggly and they get good. That sounds good to me. Man, leave that shit on my desk in the morning. We'll make it happen. The use of supporting actors is category number 4. And since family is the focus here, I thought that they used them better, definitely better in Space Jam 2. I think Space Jam 2, like we've been talking about how, you know, family is more focused. I thought the kids were better. You know, that's just me.
What in the Matrix hell? Hey, what'd you do to my son?
You know, I think the son having more time and interaction with LeBron James. First of all, he's acting against LeBron James, so he's already looked like his acting skills are much better, probably than they normally would.
Yeah.
But I really did think the kids were better here. Again, they would give him more time. I thought they were just better actors. I mean, shit, the kids in this movie can't even shake their heads right. They ain't even told to give any lines.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, it's almost as if the kids in this, they didn't have to audition. They just looked at headshots and thought, okay, these 3 are cute. Put them in.
Yeah, just throw them in. They ain't got much time anyway.
Well, we don't know if they can act. We're not going to be on screen long.
Michael Jordan can't act. And he's in the whole movie. You think these kids gonna make a difference?
It'll make sense. You'll buy them as his children.
They're gonna be looking at this talking rabbit and that duck the whole time. They ain't worried about these kids. I thought the kids were better. The family was better. The family's more focused on in this Space Jam 2. But you know, there's other people that they just. Some of the poor characters in this in Space Jam 1, man, they just treated wrong, man. Poor Wayne Knight, he's just there to be abused because he's fat.
Yep.
But that's what he was doing in every movie.
But this right here, no, they like
Seinfeld.
Well, this they're very straightforward with it. Like Seinfeld, they might actually They won't flat out just call him names. They'll say his name with
disgust.
With disgust.
Hello, Newman.
You know, they won't flat out say, "What's up, you?" Flat. Damn, I slipped. I ain't no better. They won't flat out just say, "Hey, what's up, you fat?" You know, they won't do that. But here, man, they like people will just talk bad behind his back.
I think Michael's all right. Boy, I hate to leave him like this. He's pathetic, isn't he?
They say, yeah, that dude's pathetic.
I know.
It's okay. All right, I can understand, you know, Larry Bird, who was a great NBA player, and Bill Murray. I can understand them talking about him.
Yeah.
But goddamn, when the Looney Tunes start capping on your ass, they're like, they just say, yeah, you're fat and you're a dork.
I may not be very tall, but I'm slow.
And large. And a dork.
Like, that wasn't even necessary, man.
I wasn't talking to you.
Yeah, you ain't even want to talk, Daffy Duck. They just make him a fat joke. They don't even use his body there anymore. And he leaves. Like, when he's not even in the movie anymore, they just use him as a prop. They make him a living fat joke. No, a living fart joke. Oh, you shut up. You rape people. you know, again.
Attempted, sir.
Again, you ain't even talking about nobody. And I wasn't crazy about Lola when I first met Lola, man. I met Lola when Lola...
when Lola first walked into my life.
Yeah, bitch.
She ruined me.
Just tore my life apart. Nah, man. Lola just comes in out of nowhere.
Has anyone here ever played basketball?
I have. I'd like to try out for the team.
Shit, he just busted a nut right
He
there.
That's what every furry looked like when they saw that.
Yeah,
Well,
yes, every 14-year-old watched this movie.
Well, hell, she walks in. She's doing that walk where you cross your legs with each step.
Yep.
And they got the saxophone playing in the background.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, so Looney Tunes Land is a very exclusive place. So nobody knew that there was a fine-ass rabbit living out there.
She probably had to hide this whole time.
Yes.
From Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah, exactly.
And from Bugs and Daffy and everyone else.
Yeah, see what happens with that cat? Is it Pepe Le Pew? You're like, nah, none of that.
Yeah.
Like,
They can
girl, no.
all double team.
Well,
Granny.
this is awesome fan fiction amongst us all. I love it.
Yeah,
But that ain't what happened here. Actually, one of the reasons why she was brought on, and this was on Howard Stern, she was brought on so that they could show that, oh, see, Bugs Bunny, he ain't no homo. He ain't gay.
Just
is
because
that
he likes
really?
to dress up and kiss men.
Because he's a transvestite and kisses dudes. They're like,
wow.
well, shit, we gotta let him. Let everybody know Bugs Bunny ain't gay.
Oh,
Let's let him have a hard on for this fine ass rabbit over here. That's why I think I like Don Cheadle so much, man. Don Cheadle, he was more like a. First of all, Don Cheadle was really good in the movie, man. You can't tell from the trailers, but Don Cheadle is really a lot of fun. I think he's giving it his all in the film. Chris, like, hell no, fuck it.
I'm gonna let you do your thing. I'm gonna let you say your piece.
All right.
Let's get it on before I tell you how wrong you are.
Yeah.
I like Don Cheadle
I
a
liked
lot in
him
the
a lot,
movie. I
yeah.
thought he was a lot of fun. I thought that he was one of the people in there who was really having fun with it and giving it his all. You know, he's got on a spray painted blue jean shirt right now, but blue jean jacket. But I thought he was fun, man. You know, at the same time, looking at Space Jam 1, kind of along the same levels, I really did enjoy Bill Murray too, man.
I did too.
Like, okay, Bill Murray, he was random. He was about as random as Lola Rabbit here. But the reason why, and the only reason why he's in there is because Ivan Reitman produced this.
Yeah.
And he was in Ghostbusters, so Ivan Reitman probably called a favor.
And you know, Bill Murray's all about Chicago.
Yep, that is true. His ad-libbing in the movie in a movie where he got rigid-ass Michael Jordon, and animated
Bird.
cartoon characters,
Yeah.
and he was the one that felt the most natural in the movie because of his ad-libbing, man, because he's great at that.
You can't play. What if I tried really hard? Can you keep it down? I'm trying to hit this ball. It's because I'm white, isn't it?
You know, I almost guarantee you that was something that wasn't written.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It all felt like it wasn't written, but it's like, Bill, if you could just do this for me, and he just came in and does what he does. He's able to ad lib, seem very natural, always a funny delivery.
Yeah.
And with all this seemingly meaningless banter, it turns into a story point toward the end, where I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I call that a story point. It was like another glamorized cameo that they had him in, but I mean,
but it does call back to this part earlier, like all this he's talking about. It
does.
They they go back to it rather than it's just like, well, he said some shit here and he did some shit here.
It's just that he lends nothing to the movie except be Bill Murray, and that's cool.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
And
Well,
that's,
he's been doing that for 35
yeah,
years.
and that's fine. Because I liked him in the movie no matter what.
Yeah.
This movie would have been a notch worse had he not been in it.
True.
And I appreciated the movie's candor because his last line in the film is because Michael Jordan's like, "How'd you get here?" He's like, "I'm friends with the producer."
Yeah.
and he just
Yeah.
leaves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, I appreciate
I
that
had a teacher
honesty.
drop me off.
Yeah.
No, it was funny. You know, I think almost in this category of how they use the supporting characters, I almost think it's a draw. The only reason why I would say Space Jam 2 is better and wins in that category is because I think even the supporting characters were used a little bit better. You know, again, they were part of the story a little bit more.
Oh yeah, Don Cheadle has almost as much screen time as LeBron James.
Yep. Here's an interesting one. Acting. LeBron James or Michael Jordan. You know, watching it again, I have to say that I think, and I'm with you, man. I kept talking about how Michael Jordan just showed up and he was not there at all. Michael Jordan was better than I thought.
Yeah, he was a lot better than I thought, and he was really into it.
Yeah, now, you know, I think that Michael Jordan was good because that's up and down with Michael Jordan. I think Michael Jordan was good when Michael Jordan was acting with another person that he could see right there. Because when he was like acting with Wayne Knight or he's talking to Bill Murray, those scenes actually felt better because he had something that he could actually react to.
Thanks for the ride, Sherm. Appreciate it.
The greatest athlete that's ever lived.
How'd I get out of here?
And I was like, man, that's not the greatest acting job in the world, but it did convey, like, I will kill your big ass. You don't make this car. Try to I felt it. But when Michael Jordan, there was some scenes where he was acting against nothing. I don't even think there was a tennis ball there, and those scenes were bad. When he was acting against nothing, he had nothing. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's not the one. Hold on. Oh, you know
Even
what?
in that scene, he's barely reacting.
He's barely,
he's
he's
like,
being,
he's gonna
being
grab
torn
me,
apart.
Yeah.
And he's barely reacting. Oh, let me see if I can find the scene that I'm thinking of here, because there's one that had me laughing, man. I forgot, I was in a rush, y'all, and I forgot to get it, but this scene had me laughing really hard.
Lemony fresh.
You guys are nuts.
Yeah.
Who are you looking at?
Nuts.
Who are you looking at, Michael?
What are you Michael, they're over here.
They're all around me, aren't they? Every single one of them.
Shit, I'm surrounded.
So since we've been able to see him do well, for a scene like that, you blame him or blame the director?
I don't know, man.
It's a combination of everything.
Yeah, let me see.
Combination of
here.
everything.
You guys are nuts.
I mean, look, he can't act. Those, all right. So that's. But you're right. If I had to, I think you're right. It's direction, man, because it seemed like there are scenes where when he's given the right direction, even when he's against the tunes, he's okay.
Yeah.
That was such a throwaway line right there. They just let it in. But
Like,
at least,
hey, we need you to just act like you saw something, you're impressed.
or maybe they just couldn't get that line. They just, tell you.
Possibly.
Because I'm gonna tell y'all, man, there's some scenes where no matter what kind of direction they had, it's just kind of like, man, we got to move on. It's just nothing we can do.
Can't do any more.
Why'd you
this
use
is
that
one.
take? That was the best one. Sorry.
The only time now you have to think about this. Like, this is where LeBron had an advantage. He did, because LeBron gets to spend a lot of time, and you said it already. LeBron gets to spend a lot of time as a toon, and when he's a toon, his voice acting is better, and plus being animated, it gives him more expression. You know what? I'm gonna say between the two of them, the acting in here, I'm gonna give it to LeBron James, but only by technicality, because I mean, he had the advantage of being a toon the whole time.
They took away a dimension from him. That's what made it better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Number 6, the use of the other basketball players. Everybody loves Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Larry Johnson, Muggsy Bogues. All the key players you keep.
Oh yeah, I know all those guys.
Yeah, I know.
I know who Charles Barkley was.
Yeah, of course you know who Charles Barkley is. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you, man, they're all having fun, but a lot of the time their acting abilities are just there's too much time spent on them with too little acting ability, man. They just had long montages where they were trying. It was kind of painful sometimes.
Being sucked down a golf hole.
That's it. We're out of here. We're leaving now. Let's play some acupuncture.
Good idea. Bye.
I was like, man, you know what? There's a lot of time spent on that, and then bless their hearts, are not actors, and they know that.
Yeah.
And I accept it for that, but it don't make it any less crazy when you look at it.
I know it's not good. They aren't good. They aren't actors. They're athletes. I can only say that they are slightly better than the average athlete who acts.
Only slightly.
Only
and
slightly.
that ain't saying a lot.
But they aren't on the screen a lot.
Boy,
but
there was no emotions.
I know.
And that was it.
I know.
That goddamn crystal ball sucked up any emotion they had. Didn't nobody emote at all. You got 5 big motherfuckers at this table, and none of them between them can give you any emotions whatsoever.
Being sucked down a golf hole.
The ones that sucked all emotions away.
Furry creatures.
That's it. We're out of here. We're leaving now.
Good idea. Bye.
God damn!
Like when he's like, we're out of here. Bye. I was like, who's he talking to? Because he didn't even change inflection. Like, good idea. Bye. No, good idea. Bye.
What you give him more? You put more acting into it than he did because he wasn't even looking. He looking. I don't even know what he was looking at.
He's reading the cue cards. He was reading the cue cards.
Bye. Yeah, the cue cards.
That's what I'm saying. Well, he had no inflection, so he's talking to two different people, but you couldn't tell that from the way he said it.
Somebody said the Munstars took away their acting talent. They didn't have it to begin with. What are you talking about?
That bone was dry.
Yeah. That's where it comes in with the use of basketball players in Space Jam 2. Mm-hmm. Space Jam 2, they said, we're not going to even try.
Right.
What we're going to do is we're going to bring them on for a few seconds, and the rest of that time, we're going to make CG characters out of them.
It's like, we want to bring them on so you know that we had them. These are the people.
Yep.
And now, voila.
And then we're going to make them CG characters, and we're going to have them flying and flaming and all this kind of shit, so you won't even have to reflect on their acting one bit.
From the beautiful mind of Dominic James.
That had more emotion what's up than all them dudes at that table. That line right there.
Queen of the web.
I don't know about that line, but okay.
Ain't no different from the other ones.
I know. I'm not saying that it's any different than the other ones. I'm saying it's the same.
The same as what?
Don't.
In terms of like the delivery, the bad line rating.
As the dudes at the table.
I would say so. Yeah.
Oh no, man.
Queen of the web. Get it? Because we're on the World Wide Web. We're on the server.
It's a bad pun, but that I'm gonna let you look at this again. Man, that had at least expression behind it.
Sure.
Queen of the web.
Man, you know, come on. Queen of the web.
That's why you want to read a line.
Yeah,
like that.
man, you hate. You're a hater.
Yes, I hate both of these things.
He should have been there last night.
I would say that we've debated about this, but I would say that for this category, the better use of basketball players goes to Space Jam 2. Commercialism and adult humor, because I've heard a lot of complaints about the marketing here. Of course, that was the first thing everybody said. It's just a big ad for HBO Max. So you had the commercialism and then the whole thing with, they take Pepe out, but you bring in those rapists from Clockwork Orange and all this adult humor. If you're going to bring in all this adult humor, then who's this movie for? Okay, first of all, let me just say that I've noticed some similarities between both movies. To what extent, we'll talk about, but going back to Pepe over here, speaking of, I forgot that they put all the tunes up in the stands. Something that they similarly did in Space Jam 2. Except it just wasn't the tunes. As we said, it was, if you go through, it's all of the Warner Brothers properties right here. You can see Batman, War Boys, you see Hanna-Barbera stuff here, Jabberjaw.
The Herculoids.
You know, if you go through, you see, I mean, this is just one frame, but there's, there's Robin, I'm sure,
Pennywise is there.
Pennywise is in here. So, you go through, there's a lot more Easter eggs in here to see now. That bothered some people. I tell you, when I saw the movie, it didn't bother me as much. I did say that there was no real reason to have them there except to have all the Warner Brothers properties at the game, because they didn't really need them at the game. There was a lot of adult humor in this. Patrick Ewing, they make a joke about when he loses his abilities, they also ask him, did you lose anything else, at home? And he's like, fuck you, no, I can still, my dick still works. But also they make references to other adult properties. We're talking about, because people really freaked out. Well, all these adult properties, and what kids are going to recognize that? And who's this movie for? Let's not forget, they did the same thing in Space Jam 1. And it really wasn't even all that clever.
Yeah.
They just threw it in there because it was still popular at the time.
Yeah, it was another bad joke.
And if you're a kid, how do you know that that's from Pulp Fiction?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Unless you are a kid who, like is every other kid, where you see entertainment everywhere. Mm-hmm. Even if you haven't watched the movie, you probably know who Pennywise is.
Right.
And let's not play around and act like they didn't do any kind of marketing and product placement in this movie, because they did. Shit, there's a whole scene of Michael Jordan just advertising McDonald's.
Wasn't just here in New York. How you doing?
You saw them fries over there on the table, just strategically placed by the TV.
Oh yeah.
So you see them.
It wasn't just here in New York. How you doing? That's what's really frightening about it.
And there's a point here where my man just lays down on the bed and just poses like a centerfold for a McDonald's milkshake.
Wasn't just all looks like
Coke. Look at What I didn't like, if I really had to be honest, both of them are kind of are similar in their product placement and marketing, but it did feel nice watching Space Jam 1 and not being bombarded every minute with a property, because Space Jam 2 does that shit all the time, man. You were constantly being hit in the face with a Warner Brothers property, man. But as far as who's the least overbearing with their marketing, Space Jam 1, of course, wins on that one. Winding this down very quickly. Oh, and by the way, since we're talking about Pepe having to be put out in adult humor, I thought that Pepe argument, that so-called controversy, quote unquote, I thought it was a little silly considering that all the other stuff they have in there. Sure. Nobody would have said anything. But going back and looking at Space Jam 1, yeah, Pepe got to go. He was trying to rape people back then. Granny, right? Like, get the fuck off me.
Oh my God, eating her skin.
This old woman over here. Yeah, man.
Suckling on her already.
Yeah, Pepe had to go, man. Just to let you know, when I said that there were some things in there that I thought, when they did the commercialization, I thought, all right, some of those things were good, man. Some of those things were funny that I thought that they would be. I should follow that up by saying that some of them not only were bad, but they made the movie longer. Some of this shit, like they had it right. They had these small segments that went on for like about a minute, and then we moved on. And then they got to some of the oldest overplayed shit, and they decided to linger. Well, we're going to stop the car right here, and we're going to linger on that.
Got nothing on me, bro.
Oh, shit, I don't even know how. I know Mexicans love Speedy Gonzalez, but that shit, I would feel a little uneasy about that everything.
I normally don't have a problem. With that one, I was like, maybe I need to rethink
when
this.
You put it in slow motion, it just don't seem right.
Yeah, it does.
Epa! Should it be like they had a black character? Shit, motherfucker.
Well, Speedy, he had like a cousin who talked like these.
Yeah, that was Slowpoke.
So
right?
there you go. There you go. That was a reference to Slowpoke. They couldn't bring him in the movie, obviously.
You know, editing, the flow, transition from scene to scene. They had some real bad edits in Space Jam 1.
There will be no more basketball.
Meanwhile, in Toonland, like, wow, man. They had a lot of cuts like that. A lot of jokes landed flat because they were filmed so badly. Definitely the winner is Space Jam 2 in that area. You know, the production is just a lot more lean. You know, production's a lot more slick this time around. The movie with the least cringiest moments. Well,
they call me P-double-L-G. Step to me, he don't want no.
Automatically, Space Jam 1. that took them all right there, man. Need I say more?
Even that scene, Don Cheadle's just kind of like, all right.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
you know, this is where it's really hard.
They insisted on bringing this in. I'm not going to participate. I'm just standing here.
Don Cheadle's just counting money in his head right now the whole time. Just thinking your money, man. Well, there you go. I think, again, looking at both of them, man, it's just, as you can see.
They're both fucked up.
They're both fucked up.
No one's a winner.
No
one's a winner.
They both, if I had to look at these movies on the same level, I'd be like, I'm looking at them, I'm giving them both kind of the same grade, man. Maybe Space Jam 1 just a notch lower, but they're both in the rental area, man. I don't have anything against these films because, again, I remember how much the kids loved. I remember reviewing Space Jam 1. I'm just kind of like, this is not that good of a movie, but the kids are loving it, man.
Sure.
You know, and sure enough, years later, adults out there looking at Space Jam 2 talking about, oh, they like Space Jam 1. No, get the fuck out of here. It is. Jesus. But I have nothing. I don't have enough strong feelings to go in and want to hate this movie when I got some laughs out of it.
Sure.
And there were some moments that I genuinely thought, all right, as a whole, this is not a solid film, but there are moments that stand out here and there. It's a movie that works in small little chunks here and there.